Hi, I officially have only about 10 plus minutes to make videos now because the one I made yesterday describing my autism was too big to upload, so I have to do this now this way. I wanted to talk about what kind of defines my autism and what makes it recognizable. And the first one is, yeah, some social awkwardness. It used to be a lot worse when I was younger. It's funny, it's like I'm an introvert with very extrovert tendencies. I'm a social butterfly. I like talking to people. I like getting to know people. I like to meet them, even if I don't entirely care. It's funny. I have empathy, a lot of it, but it's very specific and not usually very in the moment. So it's like I'm just like, hi, how are you? I don't necessarily care. I make a cognizant effort, and a lot of Aspies do, and a lot of neurodivergent people do. I wouldn't know about neurotypicals. I'm sure that a lot of them really don't care either, but they're just polite. But some people really take interest in people. And I'm a little so-so. But I do like to interact with others and make friends. I have grapheme color synesthesia, which you do not have to be divergent to have. There's going to be a link in the description describing that, but color synesthesia is seeing letters or numbers, or feeling like there's a mosquito, or feeling like you can, I don't know, it's like you associate color with numbers or letters. And in my case, I don't visually see it, but it's always in my head. Letters and numbers have colors, genders, and personalities to me. All of them. It's ridiculous. More so numbers than colors. I associate everything by color. My emotions are color. My experiences are color. My feelings. If I didn't say that, did I say emotions? Everything with me is colors. I dream extra vividly with strong sensory input. And if I don't remember what the dream was, I always remember the colors. I can tell you what color anything is, like what it is made of. What I learned in art class is no color is one color. Everything is made up of multiple colors. I'm gonna stop saying that word now. But that's, again, not necessarily autistic, but autism and a type of synesthesia makes sense if you understand that the autistic brain is just kind of wired weird. The most notable thing about my Asperger's is my difficulty with learning and grasping math and science, but mostly the scientific part. Mostly the mathematical part of science. I do better talking when I'm not holding the phone, but this is very spontaneous and I don't have a lot of time. Oh my god, a very cute bird just landed but a few feet from me. Oh, it's hunting a bug. I am so sorry. Look at it go. Is that its mom or its baby? I can't tell. This is going great. I can be taught math, but it is very, very, very hard, and I can only retain it for a short amount of time. And once I move on to the next subject, I automatically forget what I learned in the past math type. So, thankfully I haven't had to learn any new math since I was in high school, but I do remember very much how that worked. I just can't retain it. I can't hang on to it. It's impossible. I have specific ways that I need to be taught things. Everybody learns in a different way, but for me it's very specific, or I don't pay attention to my environment. There was a time when I was younger where I was sharing my bedroom with my mom, more like she was sharing hers with me, and she rearranged the whole bedroom, and when I first walked in I didn't even notice. And I can be like that with a lot of things. If something doesn't affect my environment in a major way, or I'm just so used to being it in the background, I will almost never notice that it's different. It's obliviousness because I'm focused on other things that have my attention. I have sensory overload dysfunction. The part of the brain that... Hey! Making a video here. Chill. Those birds don't care. The part of the brain that processes sensory input is called the thalamus. And in people who are autistic, that tends to be a little messed up. It can be that either all 5 senses are heavily impacted, or just a few, or for some people, none at all. For me, it's basically all but my sense of smell that are gravely impacted. I'm photosensitive. I don't like flashing, blinking lights. I've never had a seizure or anything like that, but it's highly irritating and stressful to me. I'm a very picky eater who is extremely sensitive to taste and texture. There are some foods that I like that I'm surprised I like, but onions is one of them that I cannot have. If I smell it, I gag. If I taste it, I gag. If I get a little chip of it in my food, instantly gagging. I'll detect it no matter what. Sorry. But I'm like trying to go really fast because I know that my videos are going to be very limited for the time being, but I'm trying to think of anything and everything that can be linked to autism. And for the record, having some of these symptoms, like being bad at math or not noticing your environment, I'm looking at that bird, it's sitting next to me being really cute. Those things you don't have to be autistic to have. Something that's frustrating about being neurodivergent is when you tell somebody about the symptoms that help define your divergence, is when people are just like, oh, I have that, I was bad at math in school, I might have autism as well. Don't do that. Ever. It's not funny. It's not cute. If you genuinely feel like you are vibing with a lot of the symptoms, or you thought that you had a lot of struggle in childhood and school, then yes, absolutely you should go try and work on getting diagnosed, and you're allowed to ask questions. But to just play around with it, we don't like that crap. Please don't do it. Ever. It's just rude and diminishing of our symptoms. There should be no autism awareness. It should be autism acceptance. I'm really glad I wasn't able to make that sentence coherent. Also, I flipped earlier because that bird just about smacked me in the face because it's hunting bugs. And it's so cute I can't even stand it. But it must think that I'm pretty harmless to have gotten that close. So I'm kind of honored. Something that's kind of noticeable in people with Asperger's, not everybody, because everyone's different, but we tend to understand nature far better than we understand people. I can read animal body language, facial expressions. I understand just about anything that revolves around animals and plants and nature and knowing what they want. I'm very intuitive. But when it comes to people, I used to have a much harder time with facial expressions, body language, and sarcasm. These are things I've gotten a lot better at, but sarcasm tends to bamboozle me when people say it like they truly mean it. There's just like, oh, well, okay, not that that's a problem. I get that. But when somebody's just like, certain situations, or at least they'll say something and they'll try to pass it off as sarcasm, and I'm just like, that was not sarcasm. You spit it like it was a legitimate fact. But I don't know. I info dump. I use really, really big words. Not because I have to, because I want to. I'm a walking Wikipedia. I have exceptional memory over things that I care about. My memory recall is excruciatingly detailed. I have memories that go back very, very far, that are relatively obscene and maybe a tad disturbing. I was mentally maturing at a very, very fast rate as a kid. I watched Animal Planet, and I watched programs about dinosaurs because I was obsessed with them, like a lot of kids. And I would retain and understand strange and complex information, and I would talk and use that information around my parents and just info dump while I was playing, and they were just like, our kid uses these huge words. Where does she learn this stuff? How does she know what this means? And half the time, really, I guess I didn't always know what it meant, but I had a grasp on it. I remember hearing that Big Al, the Allosaurus dinosaur in the BBC program, they said that he died a mature adolescent. I ended up parroting that to my parents, and they were just like, how does she know that? I somehow kind of understood what that meant. I knew what adolescence was, and I understood what a mature adolescence could be. So, my dogs are really, hey, you guys need to quit it. The thing about me is I'm so concealed with my Asperger's that if you met me in person, Like, when we were first talking, you would never ever know. I'm the same way on the internet. People are like, I'm like, yeah, well, you know, we're not all always awkward or stale or freaks. And even if people appear stale on the outside, you should never talk to them like they don't have feelings or like those feelings don't matter. I personally have a hard time being around other people with autism in person. Now, it's been a while since I've had to deal with that, but when I had to deal with it in high school, that's when I got awkward. But now I'm just like, maybe if I had a second chance, I'd be able to deal with it a lot better because I know a lot more. Anyway, this video is getting too long and I don't want to end up being unable to post it. If you have more questions about my autism or would like to compare, or if I think of more, I'll share it with you. I'm sure that in the stories coming, more and more of my personality and what defines my Asperger's will come forward. Milo wants to say hi. So, thank you for watching this if you did. It's been a really cool, excuse me, second video. Kind of. Let me know. Bye.